For decades, Somalia's story has been one of hardship and conflict, a nation marked by civil war, famine, and instability. The world has often seen only the struggles, images of shattered cities and displaced families. But beneath the surface, a different narrative has been waiting to emerge. Quietly, hope has been growing as communities rebuild and look toward a brighter future. A secret deep within the Earth's crust, colossal oil and gas reserves, now promises to rewrite Somalia's destiny. These resources, long hidden, have the potential to change everything for the Somali people. As of late 2025, the world is looking at Somalia with new eyes, not for what it has lost, but for what it has found. Investors, journalists, and diplomats are arriving, eager to witness this transformation. The discovery, valued in the trillions, could transform the nation's economy and society. New infrastructure projects are already underway, signaling a wave of progress. Imagine new roads, hospitals, and schools. This is the vision fueling optimism in Mogadishu today. For many, it's a chance to dream of a better life for their children. But with hope comes responsibility. Will this wealth unite the country or deepen old divisions? The stakes are higher than ever, and the choices made now will echo for generations. The path ahead is fraught with peril, balancing the promise of development against the risk of the resource curse. Security, transparency, and unity will be crucial. The choices made now will determine if this discovery becomes a blessing for all Somalis or a source of new conflict. The world is watching, and so are the people whose lives will be most affected. The future of an entire nation hangs in the balance, as Somalia stands on the threshold of a new era, one filled with both promise and uncertainty. The journey began not with drilling, but with sound. In the early stages, teams of scientists and engineers fanned out across Somalia's rugged coastline, setting up sensitive equipment to listen to the earth itself. Instead of digging blindly, they used cutting-edge technology to peer deep beneath the surface, searching for clues hidden for millions of years. In 2024 and 2025, the Turkish seismic vessel Oruç Reis mapped Somalia's offshore territory, using sound waves to reveal the secrets beneath the seabed. These advanced surveys sent pulses through the ocean floor, bouncing back data that painted a detailed picture of what lay below. The data was staggering, up to 30 billion barrels of oil offshore, a discovery that instantly put Somalia on the map for global energy companies and investors. And there was more, another 20 billion barrels onshore, potentially worth $8.5 trillion. This was a fortune hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment and the right tools to be revealed. Somalia was suddenly one of the world's last great untapped energy frontiers. The vast, untouched landscapes and pristine coastlines now held the promise of transformation. Advanced seismic imaging provided the hard evidence needed to attract serious investment, even in a high-risk environment. For the first time, international companies could see the potential with their own eyes, backed by scientific proof. The Turkish Petroleum Corporation's surveys were more than science. They were a vote of confidence, laying the groundwork for a historic deal. This partnership signaled to the world that Somalia was open for business and ready to shape its own destiny. The announcement in spring 2025 sparked national pride and hope. Across the country, people gathered to celebrate, waving flags and watching the news together. For the first time in years, Somalia's headlines were about potential, not conflict. The story of oil was also the story of a nation daring to dream again. The government moved quickly, emphasizing that this discovery belonged to all Somalis. Leaders promised transparency and a fair share for every citizen, determined to avoid the mistakes of the past. Technology didn't just find oil, it unearthed a new sense of hope and a shared vision for the future. For Somalia, this was more than a resource. It was a chance to rewrite its story and inspire generations to come. Somalia's oil potential is rooted in its ancient geological connection to Yemen. Millions of years ago, the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa were one landmass, sharing the same rock foundations. The same processes that created Yemen's oil-rich basins also shaped Somalia's Nugal and Daror valleys. Recent surveys confirm these Somali basins are geological twins to Yemen's proven reserves. This link de-risks exploration. Somalia isn't a wild gamble, but a logical extension of a known oil region. Investors now see Somalia as the missing piece in a major petroleum system. This geological inheritance could finally fuel a new, prosperous future for Somalia. It's a gift from deep time, connecting Somalia and Yemen, not by conflict but by shared destiny. At the heart of Somalia's oil story is its partnership with Turkey. In April 2025, Somalia granted Turkey's TPAO exclusive rights to explore and develop vast oil blocks. The deal is structured to favor Somalia. Turkey takes the financial risk, and after costs are recouped, Somalia receives 70% of profits, far more than most African oil deals. TPAO must also fund community projects and train Somali workers, aiming to build a sustainable domestic energy sector. But there are risks. Relying on a single foreign partner raises concerns about sovereignty and dependence. Critics warn that Turkey's control could translate into political leverage. Somalia's leaders must ensure this partnership remains balanced and transparent. The challenge is to build strong institutions that keep the deal serving Somalia's national interest. Somalia's oil discovery has thrust it onto the geopolitical stage. Regional powers are recalculating. Ethiopia sees opportunity for energy and port access, while Kenya fears being overshadowed and old disputes reigniting. The oil could foster regional cooperation or fuel new rivalries. Global powers are also watching. America, Europe, Gulf states, and China all have stakes in Somalia's future. The Horn of Africa is becoming a new arena for international competition. Somalia stands at the epicenter, with both opportunity and danger ahead. Wise management could attract investment and alliances. Missteps could make Somalia a pawn in global power games. The nation must navigate this great game carefully to secure its own future. Somalia's optimism is tempered by the cautionary tales of Nigeria and Venezuela. Both nations were blessed with oil, but suffered from the resource curse: corruption, inequality, and instability. In Nigeria, oil wealth fueled elite capture, neglect of other sectors, and conflict in the Niger Delta. Venezuela's oil boom led to dependency, economic collapse, and political crisis when prices fell. The lesson: without transparency, strong institutions, and equitable sharing, oil wealth can become a curse. Somalia faces the same risks: corruption, division, and economic vulnerability. The examples of Nigeria and Venezuela are warnings, not predictions. Somalia must build accountability and invest wisely to avoid repeating their mistakes. The $8.5 trillion treasure could lift the nation, or sink it deeper into old problems. For oil to be a blessing, Somalia must anchor it in a national vision, the Somali dream. This is about building a country where every child has access to education, healthcare, and opportunity. The government's profit-sharing deal is a start, but the next step is a transparent, sovereign wealth fund, audited and accountable to the public. Every dollar must be tracked, and citizens must see how oil money is spent. Revenue sharing with federal states like Puntland and Jubaland is essential to prevent conflict and ensure unity. The wealth must be seen as a national inheritance, shared by all. Oil should be a catalyst for diversifying the economy, investing in agriculture, fisheries, renewables, and tech. The goal: a resilient, dynamic economy that thrives long after the oil is gone. True success is measured not by money but by a just, stable, and prosperous society. This is the Somali dream, a future finally within reach. The next 2 years will be critical for Somalia. The decisions made now will shape the country's future for generations to come, setting the stage for either progress or peril. Offshore test wells are set for early 2026. If successful, oil exports could begin by 2027. This discovery could transform Somalia's economy, bringing in billions in revenue and opening doors to new opportunities. This is when the promise of wealth becomes reality, and the nation's ability to manage it faces its greatest test. The choices made by leaders and citizens alike will determine whether this wealth benefits all Somalis or just a select few. One path leads to the Somali dream: strong laws, a transparent wealth fund, and unity among federal states. It's a vision where resources are shared fairly, and every region has a stake in the nation's success. Oil revenues fund highways, universities, and power grids, while security improves and hope grows. Young people find jobs, families thrive, and the country moves forward together. The other path is the resource curse: political infighting, corruption, and renewed conflict over oil wealth. Instead of unity, division and mistrust could take hold, threatening hard-won progress. The nation could become more fractured, with oil deepening old wounds. Communities may be pitted against each other, and the promise of prosperity could slip away. Somalia stands at a crossroads, with a once-in-a-generation chance to break the cycle of poverty and conflict. The decisions made now will echo far into the future. But opportunity is not a guarantee. It must be seized with courage, vision, and a commitment to the common good. The outcome depends on the wisdom and unity of Somalia's leaders. Their choices will either open the door to a brighter future or close it for another generation. The hopes of millions rest on their choices. Every Somali, young and old, is watching and waiting, hoping for a better tomorrow. This is Somalia's moment of truth, a defining choice between shared prosperity and a tragic past. The world is watching and the future is in their hands.